You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Ryan is sitting down.
It feels more authentic this way, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It's just natural. It's like Ryan's in his natural habitat when we catch him sitting down. We don't want to be too clean here, too perfect. It's impossible for us to be perfect, or at least for me to be perfect.
And you caught me not being perfect, so there we go.
Yeah. Hey, folks, if you're tuned in because you're excited about Mandalorian's Katee Sackhoff, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, sincerely. It may not sound sincere, but I'm very sincere. But please subscribe and stick around for other guests. I noticed we get a huge jump on certain guests, and then some people decide to leave, but you'd hope that they like the interview enough that they go, hey, I'll give this guy a chance. Right? That's what the goal is.
That's the hope, yeah.
Well, I'm hoping for that. So anybody who's a Katee Sackhoff fan, including me, including Ryan, will stick around and subscribe. And where can they subscribe on YouTube?
YouTube.com/inside of you with Michael Rosenbaum is the one.
Inside of You
with
Michael Rosenbaum.
That's you.
What is it again? The beginning?
YouTube.com.
YouTube.com/inside of you with Michael Rosenbaum. Right. And then on you can subscribe on Apple, and please leave a review. Mm-hmm. It helps the algorithm and all that stuff. I'm not going to just dwell on it, but if you could just do that, and it takes 10 seconds to write a review if you like the show. What are the handles here on social? Well,
at Inside of You Pod on Twitter, at Inside of You Podcast on Instagram and Facebook.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And the new band Sunspin is out. Our album's coming out, and we're very excited. I just played a few songs for you, and you were, I think, surprised.
A couple, yeah. I mean, because I've heard them in all stages, and so it's always nice to hear the full product,
mastered version.
And yeah, I was a big fan of your friend Blake Lewis.
Yeah, he's, in fact,
buck wild.
I could play a little something here. This is called Barrel of the Gun. This is the chorus.
Is that a trumpet?
Oh, yeah. Rainy days, they have their charm, but there's no calm before the storm. We're all staring down the barrel of a gun. Sometimes when I see her smile, I know in a little while I'll be staring down the barrel of a gun. Well, we're really excited about this. We just had it mastered and had a lot of great performers on the album, a lot of great musicians. I'm directing the Summertime Neighbor video. That's a song on the album. Mm-hmm. We're directing that socially distanced on Sunday. We're really excited. Please follow us. The handles are at Sunspin Band on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the new website has tons of merch like lunch boxes and places to book the band and Zoom and all that stuff. And that is just sunspin.com, sunspin.com. So we'd love the support. And we're playing a big show on Stage It, so you can watch from the comforts of your own home on January 30th, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 2 shows Saturday, January 30th. Go to stageit.com and type in Sunspin and support us, be part of the big family, and follow us on there. So sunspin.com. Yeah. And I'm also doing those Cameo videos. They're doing like the live. You could actually, they're like Zooms. So I'm actually talking to people on Cameo now. It's not just me leaving a message. Oh, it's nice. Pretty neat. I actually like it. I reserve a spot like on Wednesday or a Thursday from like 6 to 6:30. And I just talk to people for, whatever. And, and it's a blast. Some people ask me questions like this girl, Michelle King. Hi. She asked me trivia questions. Oh. And it's fun. I have a good time.
Well, great.
Yeah. And also join Patreon, patreon.com/inside of you, and become a part of the Patreon family, the patron family. So many great tiers of like, some folks get merch every couple months. Some people get to ask questions to the guests, shit talking questions to the guests, private YouTube live where I play live concerts just for you and get you. It's like a request line. It's a lot of fun. Very excited about today's show. I want to thank my former guests, Tom Welling. The episode just crushed, and it was really excited. Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters. What a great episode that was. If you get a chance to listen to it, please listen to it. You're going to love it. You learn so much, and it was touching. It was fun, and I didn't know Ernie at all, and I want to be a son after that. Why don't we just get into I've been friends with her. You've seen her in Battlestar Galactica. You've seen her in many other shows, but this Mandalorian really is a role that is probably the most famous, the biggest role she'll probably get, right?
It's really good. It was really cool. I mean,
what an integral part too that she has. I mean, I finally watched all the episodes after talking to her, and I was blown away by the role that she has in The Mandalorian. So she's a wonderful actress, a wonderful woman, and thank you. I want to thank you right now, Katee, for doing the podcast. And without further ado, let's get inside of Katee Sackhoff.
It's my point of view. You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum was not recorded in front of a live studio audience.
You're not married. You have a fiance?
Not married yet. We are waiting for our visa from the American government to come through.
Oh, so he's not an American?
No.
What's his name?
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah.
You've been dating a while, right?
We have been.
Is he there? I mean, it just feels like you're looking it over like, do you care that I said I'm not wearing a bra, Robin? Is everything okay?
No, literally, he just, before I was like getting ready to do this, he's like pulling at, he calls these my fluffs.
Your fluffs.
And he was like, your fluffs are on point, babe. You may want to.
What is that? Where is he from?
He is from a small town in the interior of British Columbia.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't have an accent, really.
No.
Okay.
No, he's not. I was like, he's not that foreign.
Well, not that foreign. I thought because he was like, your fluffs. I was imagining him talking like, your fluffs are fluffy. But he's not. He's not
that foreign. He just says your fluffs are a little on. They're going a little crazy.
Right. Is that your Christmas tree behind you? The one that's about 1 foot long over your right shoulder?
I am surrounded by boxes right now. I literally am surrounded by boxes. So it's crazy.
It's stressful, isn't it?
It is stressful. And it's like, Robin and I, we really decided to test our relationship this quarantine. I think that the moment we started dating, practically, we were renovating a house together. Renovating a house, we work together, we live together. Like, it's pretty crazy. The fact that we're still together. We were doing our prenup, and the lawyer said that she was happy that we were still getting married because we were the only ones.
Prenup, like, so usually people don't talk about prenups. Like, in fact, I've talked to therapists of mine, and if you're dating a girl or a guy or whatever, you think, shouldn't I protect myself or protect us both? And how do you sort of talk about prenups? Do you, and one of my thoughts was, look, I'm not saying I'm going to fall out of love with you. I'm protecting myself because most likely you are going to fall out of love with me. So this is why we're doing this. I'm confident this will last for eternity. But who brought it up and how do you do that?
So the reason, you always enter into a relationship anticipating it's going to last forever. I think that would be ridiculous to do so if you had any other thought in your mind. But you have to protect yourself. And so for me, it's not even about protecting myself or him protecting himself. It's about, my parents have worked incredibly hard, and they're both very self-made, and they've done very well for themselves in the development and real estate market in Portland. And a lot of that stuff is left to my brother and my sister and all of their grandchildren.
Oh.
And that stuff needs to be protected, because it's not about me. It's about my brother and sister and my nieces and nephews. And
good angle. What a great angle to say, listen, this isn't even about me. This is about my folks. And
well,
it is. No, I know, but like that's a good way a good segue.
It's true though. And then you've got to do weird things. Like you've got, you're like, I've got eggs in storage, like all of these things that you've actually got to talk about because, I think that people sometimes they forget that marriage, and I know this sounds awful, but marriage is a business deal. It really is. It's the coming together of two companies rather. And you have to be pragmatic about things. You can be as romantic as you want to be. I love this man more than anything in the world. And I firmly believe we're going to be together forever. But you also have to understand that it's not just about you sometimes, and I think that I don't know. I just think it's smart.
Where did you meet Robin?
We met at work.
Of course. What movie?
Yeah, no, we met on Another Life.
I was just going to say Another Life with Justin Chatwin.
Yeah, with Chatwin.
So
we met there.
So was it the first day where you're like, I don't know if you're doing a table read or I don't know if you're on set and there's this guy that walks in and you're like, whoa, I'm attracted to that guy. And he looks at you and all of a sudden it's early and you're like, well, I don't have many scenes with him, so we can kind of fuck around. I mean, what is it?
He's not an actor. So like.
Whoa. Did he direct it?
No. So Robin is a writer. And one of his friends worked in the production office and he was looking for a way to sort of like get back into the film industry. And so he took a low-level position on our production to sort of like get himself out of managing a bar and writing during the day. It was a cycle that he wasn't excited about. He was working all night and trying to write during the day. It was just not the healthiest thing. So he took this job to have a normal life and normal hours. And, we met and I had 9 months before gotten out of a relationship that ended so terribly.
Oof.
And I had just gotten to a point where I'd gone through therapy and I've accepted like my part in it.
That was the Star Trek guy, right?
Yeah.
We won't have to get in there. What was his name? I forgot.
Carl.
Carl, right. So just whatever. It just didn't end great. Relationships mostly don't.
Didn't end great. You know what's funny? It's well, we didn't talk about it, but so it had taken me a long time to get to a point where I was like, whew, all right. And I truly thought that this guy was going to be a rebound. Because I was finally ready I was looking at men again, like for the first time in like 9 months. I was like, oh, he's cute.
Right. Feels good.
I really thought that I was protecting myself because he's 10 years younger than me. And I was like,
so he's 10?
Could you imagine?
What the?
No, Michael, he's 18.
Oh, you're 28? Holy. Okay, I get that. But, the thing I keep thinking about is he moving boxes on set? Is he saying, excuse me, ma'am, I'm just trying to move the cables out here? And you're like, oh, God, he's got great feet. What was it?
He was a production assistant. And he, he was just, we just became like best friends. And like,
I love this.
Really got to know each other on a deeper level. And that was all it was. And then when production was over, I just remember thinking to myself, I kept saying to my mother, like repeatedly, this guy's going to make some woman so happy one day. He is the most amazing person I've ever met in my entire life.
Wow.
And I just kept saying that he's just so smart. He's so kind. Like he's just like everything. He's amazing. Wow. He's going to make some woman so happy. And my mom was like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, and I was like, oh no, he's 10 years younger than me. And she was like, I don't understand what is wrong with you, child.
Wow. So mom was a cheerleader. Yeah.
And I think that my mom was finally, she saw someone that treated me well. And that was new.
Wow. Yeah.
I think that she just went, oh my God, this man is inherently kind. Like I've dated nice guys before. Like they're nice. They know how to put it on. They're nice. I've never met a guy who was just
innately
fucking kind, like just really kind. And it still blows my mind. I wake up every morning and like pinch myself that I'm lucky enough to be loved by this person. It just blows my mind.
Did your mother afterwards say, what's age? What's this? Blah, blah. He's so nice. He's going to make you happy. And then go, but definitely do the prenup because it's our property. You definitely have to. I know she didn't do that. Come on.
What's funny is that my parents have never in their minds, it was always a thing. It was a thing with my brother and my sister and I, that if and when any of us got married, it was a non-negotiable, or everything was going to be pulled out of your name. This is not a, like, we highly recommend. This is a, you will do this, or, we'll have to protect ourselves in other ways.
Right. I will say this. I've known you for a long time, but I haven't, like, we've never been close. We're kind of like just friendly, and there was something just nice, and we just like, it was just a nice rapport. Everybody in Hollywood are friends, but I really like somebody says Katee, I'm like, oh man, she's the best. And you really are a wonderful person. You could tell when you meet you. Whatever. You're just like, there's just something, again, innately good about you. And it's nice that you feel the same way about the man you fell in love with. And well, it's true. And and I look at your life, your career, and I'm like, there's certain people I look at and go, God, that person doesn't stop working. But you not only do you not stop working, it's more than that. It's more than, you don't stop working hard. You don't stop. You just keep, whatever you're in, you're busting your ass and want to be the best you are. And so, like, this break that you just had with Mandalorian, and I know everybody's talking about it, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, everybody wants to talk to me now. That's how I feel whenever you get something like, oh, Michael, what are you? I'm like, oh yeah. But you're like, yeah, I'm available.
I know. Overnight success.
I mean, and you're not an overnight success. You've been pounding the pavement for a long time. And so it's just really cool that you're doing something. I mean, you've done great work and things that you get excited about. But I know from talking to you that, Star Wars is part of, I mean, it's beyond pop culture. It's like omnipresent. It's everywhere you look. It's just, if my agent called and said, you got Star Wars, you're going to do Star Wars. I mean, I honestly, I'm not kidding. If I never worked again, that'd be fine. If I did Star Wars. Yeah, if somebody said Spielberg's putting you in a movie and they said that this is the last time you'll ever act, fine, I'm in.
Fine.
If you're going to work with De Niro, I'm done.
It's been a good run.
Did you audition for this? Because an audition alone to me would be a pretty big feat.
Pretty big, right? No, I didn't. So here's the crazy thing is that when I was a little kid, I idolized male action stars because there were not a lot of female ones in the 80s. I mean, we had the Sigourney Weavers and we had the Linda Hamiltons and the Lucy Lawlesses, but we also had the Princess Leia, who was smart and feisty and gorgeous and a ball buster and capable and caring and like so well-rounded. And so from a young age, I loved Star Wars. I mean, it was, I always joked that when I first moved to California, I said to my agent, now look, there's only one thing I'll always do. If they call me to be a rock in a Star Wars movie, just say yes. I'll be a rock. That's all. I mean, just to be in this world. And so when Dave Filoni, when the offer came in about more than 10 years now to do the voice of Bo-Katan.
Right, in Clone Wars, yeah.
I jumped. Like I didn't even, it wasn't even like a think twice. It was like, of course I'll do that. That's amazing. A female Mandalorian warrior? Hello, of course. And I remember multiple times as we were sort of doing this, Dave and I joking about, one day, if this happens, she could exist in these worlds, and I just kept sort of saying tongue-in-cheek things like that because I honestly was just taking the piss. I never, like, you see amazing things, and I'm not going to say that amazing things haven't happened in my career. I've had such a beautiful career. I work my ass off, but I have had a beautiful career, and there have been great things. But I've seen people around me get that big, huge, massive thing, and you go, wow. so proud of them, so excited for them. It's amazing because if it happens to someone else, there's still hope, right? That it can happen to you. But it's never happened to me. Like it never, like that big, huge thing had never happened. So I always joked with him, just thinking, of course they'll recast it. They'll probably hire Scarlett Johansson or something like that. But when Mandalorian came out and I saw him at Celebration, I made a joke about, you know, Bo-Katan, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I said, you know, I've been playing characters like this for 15 years, buddy. And I never really thought it would happen. I was just sort of joking.
Well, let me ask you this before I want you to finish this because I love it.
Yeah.
But what I think of is name one actor who has played the animated version of a character and then the live action. I haven't. I've never played Lex Luthor animated. I've never played Flash live action. In fact, Lex Luthor's been recast in many ways. I haven't been considered. I'm not angry. Probably am, but was. But anyway, so this is, I can't name one. So the fact that you were Boca Raton, I'm just kidding. I know Florida. It's a phase two Boca Raton. But playing Bo-Katan as the voice and then getting the live action. It's just, no, it's unheard of. They never do it. No one has because no one thinks outside the box. No one thinks, instead of not even outside the box, no one thinks inside the box. No one just goes, of course, look at this actress. But anyway, but continue.
Yeah, no, I think sometimes they think that if you hit the nail on the head, it was too easy and it wasn't inspired enough for some reason. So they try to think outside of the box so much so that they sometimes get it wrong, I guess. And they sometimes get it right. But yeah, it was this moment where I was always just joking. And when a phone call came in that Jon Favreau wanted to sit down with me, I almost had a heart attack. It took me halfway through that meeting to realize that he was actually talking about me doing Bo-Katan. I remember sitting across from him, total out-of-body experience. I remember sitting across from him and just thinking to myself, oh, those are pictures of me on the wall. Why are there, what is happening? Oh, he's still talking. Wait, what is he talking about? What is going on? Like it was crazy. And I still, till this day, I'm still pinching myself. My mind is blown that not only did they have the thought to do this, but that they believed that I could, and then they ultimately let me.
Did he offer you the role in The Room?
I think so.
What did he say? Like, what was it? What was it? Okay, was it hey, so would you do this?
I think it was something like that. And like I said, I was so out of body. I don't remember. But I do believe it was something along the lines of like, now, is this something you would be interested in? Like, don't feel like you have to say yes, but is this something that interests you?
Did you play it cool? Did you try to play?
No, of course not. I think I leaned over the table and I like touched my finger on the table and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Of course I'll do this. Like, I think I was so shocked.
Did he smile? Did he say, all right?
Of course he did.
Oh
like
my God.
He's such a warm
person.
Yeah,
he's awesome. John's awesome.
Amazing. And he's such a phenomenal director. And he's a fantastic actor. And he's, one of the things that I love about working with him so much is he has this beautiful way of giving you direction that is motivating and exciting. Even if it's a critique on what you did, it doesn't come across as a critique. It comes across as, hey, that was amazing. I'm so excited. Let's go over here because this is exciting too.
Right.
And he just naturally does it. And it's a beautiful, he's so good at what he does.
I want to actually say thank you to Jon Favreau right now because Star Wars, it's, for me and millions and millions of others, it's so close to home and it is home. And then so some of those the prequels and things like that, they didn't necessarily hit it. And people were frustrated and this and that. And there's a lot of reasons and some were better than others. But when I watched The Mandalorian and expecting probably something similar, I was absolutely blown away to the point where I felt like a child again, watching the Jawas for the first time, watching these, it just was the practicals, the vision, extraordinary. If you haven't watched The Mandalorian, you are missing out. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, it doesn't matter. It's so well made, so well directed, produced, written, acted. And now Katee Sackhoff is playing Bo-Katan. And just a little history first before we get to the history of Bo-Katan, because I want to talk a little bit about that. But I wish there was a camera on your face when you walked out, your back to him, to Favreau, walking out to your car, because what I do know about you is that you probably gotten in your car and probably teared up and got really excited and gave yourself some fist bumps and like, oh my God, and wanted to call Robin immediately and say, forget about the prenup. Listen, this it went so well. I think I might have got it. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it, but I think I did. I don't know. What would you do?
I think I still at that moment, like I try to be really self-aware a lot. And I think I remember thinking to myself, they could still see you. They could still see you. They could still see you.
They're filming you.
Just drive away. Drive away. I like started the car and like, I kept trying to put it in like drive and I hadn't even like, turned the car on yet. And I kept trying to like, okay. And I just got far enough away where they couldn't see me. And I called Robin and I was like, oh my God, I don't know. And I kept going, I don't know. Let's wait. Let's just wait. We don't know. We don't know
That's what
anything.
we do. Yeah. I would have put the Bee Gees on, blasting into that song like, here I am, waiting for this moment tonight. No one I don't know. I mean, Inside of You is brought to you by Geico.
Michael, do you rent or own your home?
I own my home, Ryan.
I bet it could be difficult.
It is very difficult. I mean, the one thing that everybody worries about is always paying your mortgage or paying your rent. That's something that's very difficult. And, insurance and all the stuff that goes along with that.
You know what's easy?
What?
Bundling your policies with Geico.
Bundling.
Now,
you're talking about bundling. We've talked about this, but this is very important to me because I can't. If you do too many things, if you're paying 3 different insurance companies, what does that do for you? It stresses you out. You're writing a lot of checks. You're using your credit card. You don't know where things are coming from. But bundling, you could do them all together. Auto, mortgage, all these things, right?
All of it all together, all in one place with Geico.
With Geico. There's a reason why everybody knows the word Geico, the name Geico, because even a Rosenbaum can do it. And that's me. So get your bundling policy. Go to geico.com today. That's geico.com.
It's Geico easy.
Inside of You is brought to you by Wondery. Wondery's new true crime podcast, The Apology Line, begins with Alan Bridge posting flyers around New York City, asking people to anonymously apologize for their crimes. Not to God, not to the police, but to his answering machine. Within hours, the calls start coming in. People apologizing for stealing, infidelity, lying, and even murder. Alan got dozens of calls from people claiming to be murderers, but one stood out. Richie. He was deliberate, measured, and his calls would leave thousands wondering if he really was the serial killer he claimed to be. That is until Richie offered to provide proof of his crimes. Unable to just listen anymore, Alan knew he had to try and stop him. If you're listening to the audio version of our show, stick around to the end to hear a preview of The Apology Line, or you can listen right now on Apple Podcasts. What I love is the excitement. I hate cool. I hate being cool. I'm not cool. I hate when people try to be.
God, no,
I love, you're always a person. You wear your emotions on your, whatever. You just, like, I like seeing you excited. I like seeing a person excited about what they love and their dreams coming true and whatever happens with Bo-Katan, because Bo-Katan's an important part. But I just think it's awesome. And I'm glad someone like you got it because you appreciate it so much.
I've had on my show Another Life right now. I made a decision when I took this job that I would be positive every single day, that I would come to work and I would be a leader that was optimistic all the time. Because I've worked and I have been the opposite. I've been the person that needed to be called out on set for my attitude.
Whoa. Really? You?
Yeah.
What kind of attitude? When did this happen and what adjustments did you make?
So you know, the thing with me, as you said, I wear my heart on my sleeve. When I'm in a bad mood, I have a really hard time hiding it. And it was the first season of Longmire. I'd come right off of Riddick, and we were doing night shoots, and I was exhausted. And I went straight into early morning days in freezing cold weather during Longmire in season 1. And it was cold, and I got sick. And Bailey Chase and I would drive to work together because we were always outside the limit, so we about 60 miles every morning.
Oof.
And I would complain all the time about, you know, I just felt like I was being underutilized on the show, and I was disappointed, and I didn't want to go complain, because God forbid you go and actually have an adult conversation with someone. I just wanted to bitch about it all the time. And I was also not in a great spot in my life. I was in a relationship that lasted too long, and I should have left. And I was just not a very happy person. And he called me out in front of the entire crew one day. And it was, until this day, he and I finally made up, because it was not good for a while, because I was so disappointed in the way that he did it. You know, my mind was, do it offset, have this conversation with me offset, don't do it in front of the crew. But it taught me one of the biggest lessons of my career. And I realized that I had a choice, and I had to change my perspective, and I needed to grow the F up.
What did he say to you in front of the crew?
He screamed at me and said, "Be here. Want to be here. I am so tired of you." You know, and I don't really remember what he said, but it was loud, and it was, and I always thought it was the wrong time in the wrong place. I was very angry that he did it that way, but it needed to happen. And it woke me up, and it made me realize that the attitude I bring to set every day is the attitude that permeates the set. Because for better or worse, I have the ability, I think, because I'm so big and I'm loud and my voice carries, like, that I have the ability to change the set. I can make it a positive place to be or a negative place to be. And I was wrong. I was very wrong. And I had to learn that lesson. Yeah. And I learned two things. I learned I needed to stand up for myself. So I went in and I started talking to the producers about what I wanted the character to be. But I also realized that I needed to be the person that people wanted to work with twice. I couldn't be the person that took it for granted. I was taking it for granted. And I needed to be called out. And he did it. And then by the end of the series, the producers all, said they would work with me again. I did a complete 180 purposefully, but I taught myself how to be happy and how to enjoy what I'm doing daily and to not focus on the things that are out of your control. And that I have the ability to change the course of the day on set. If I want it to be a good place or a bad place, I have that power. And for whatever reason, probably just because I'm one of the actors and so you're front and center. If you're in a bad mood, it's very obvious. And so I took that into another life, and I wanted to be that person that showed up every day, worked harder than everybody else, but was always positive and was always motivating. And so the younger actors on the show, it's the one thing that and I don't even remember why I brought this up. But it's the one thing that they say to me all the time is that you're just always in such a good mood. And I tell them it's a choice. Every day you come to work, it's a choice. This is such a gift that we get to do this. And maybe it's because I'm 40 and I've been doing this since I was, 14. And now I have that hindsight already. I realize how lucky I am because I've been doing it long enough to know a lot of people aren't that lucky.
Well, what's crazy about this is this story is it's personal and it's a journey, but I think it will help a lot of people. In fact, I was sitting there going, I should write this down. Wait a minute, I could just rewind it. But then I thought, this is a lesson in life. This isn't just you on set. It's great that it worked out for you, because I'm sure that changing that whole perspective makes you feel healthier physically and mentally. It changes the game when you can separate, okay, this is how I feel, this is this, being, in a bad mood. And by the way, driving an hour to work and back and working 12 or 14 hours days, I'd flip myself. I mean, I'd be like, fuck you, fuck me, you're all out of line. But
it was a hard show.
It was. Well, I'm sure it was. And you actually emailed me a long time ago, would you consider being in this for a role? Or like one of the leads, I think.
Probably did.
You did. You go, hey, you'd be, and yeah. And I couldn't do it, but it sounds like it was a good call, because those hours.
You know what? It was crazy. It was crazy. However, if you watch Longmire, it's one of the reasons why people love it. The cinematography.
Oh, yeah. It looks great.
All right. And the reason it looks great is you have to drive an hour to find it.
Yeah. And you were a cop. You had to wear that cop outfit. Anyway, what I'm saying, the life lesson is no matter where you are out there, you have a choice. You could go work at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's. You could work at McDonald's and go, fuck this, fuck that. I fucking hate their food. People are dicks. I didn't get my counter button. And you could do that, and it's understandable. You can say, hey, I know they're paying you shit. You got to work for like blah, and it's a low paying job. But if you change your perspective, I know it's difficult and it's coming from a different place, because who am I to say? But I've worked at these places. If you go on with a good attitude, the day's just going to be better for you. Forget everything else. If you're just going, you know what, I'm not happy, but I'm not going to bring it here, because this is going to be a longer, more painful, more just unhealthy day, and it's going to put more stress on my body. It is a choice that if you can go and say, hey, I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to steal some cheeseburgers before I leave. I'm going to, the McRib's back, things are looking up. So, I mean, it is a choice, and I've been there. I went through a stage where I was just like not happy to be there, and people was like, you all right? I go, yep, fine. I'm fine, man. Good to see you, man. Good morning. But they knew, where's Rosie? Rosie's always doing stand-up comedy and making the guys laugh and showing his ass, which you can't do anymore. So all these things, and I look back, I wasn't mad at the crew. I never treated them mistreated, but I was mad at, the studio for treating me like shit in negotiations and treating me like I'm nothing and not making me feel important. But it had nothing to do with anything on set. And I wasted so much time.
Yeah, and the studio doesn't care.
They don't care.
On a daily basis that are feeling that,
Yeah.
And it truly does matter, It really does matter how we treat people at work. And I learned that lesson. And it was not an easy lesson to learn. It was hard. It's hard having somebody yell at you in front of an entire crew when they're right.
I did that once. I yelled at someone and I was right.
Yeah.
And I hated to do it. I hated it, Katie. I didn't want to do it. It was one of these things many years ago where I was in my trailer, and the guy, the first AD or third AD, whatever, came up to me and said, hey, Rosie, we need you on set. I'm like, awesome. Walked right out, went on set, and we're there, and the whole crew and the cast is there, and they're sitting down. And I walked in, I go, hey, you guys having a party without me? And one of the actors says, no, we're actually waiting for you because you're late, and we're, and that was his sort of thing. And I go, what? And then the director's like, hey, Rosie, let's just do this. I go, no, hang on. First, and the person kept going on. And I go, well, first of all, no, I got to let this out. I can't, because I'm in a bad mood. I can't just sit down and be a puppet and do this, because it's not how I operate. I want to get this out. First of all, you're wrong. I'm always on set before everybody else. I always know my shit. I was in my trailer, and how long did it take, John, when you came to my trailer and asked me? Okay, 30 seconds. So either there's miscommunication, but for you to lash out at me is fucking rude, and you owe me an apology. And I was pissed. And and the person just looked at me with these eyes like, and couldn't say anything. And I go, okay, I got it out. Let's make funny. Yeah. And then about an hour later, the person came to my trailer and we talked about it. I go, hey, listen, man, I'm sorry I shouldn't have snapped at you, but you snapped at me, and I should have just taken the higher road, and we were fine. And it needed to happen, though. I mean, but look, we didn't Christian Bale people, we didn't fucking, Tom Cruise everybody. But look. But look, we learned our lesson, and we're growing, and that's all we can do as humans is try to fucking grow. I'm not perfect. I'm an idiot. I just I'm going to make a mistake and say, hey, Rosie, it's all right. Don't do it again. All right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's the thing. To admit you're wrong is huge. Most people can't admit they're wrong. Like it is become a game, not a game, but like a prideful thing with me. When somebody calls me on something or somebody says something, I go, oh my God, thank you so much. You're right. I'm wrong.
Yep.
It is what it is. Robin did it last night, just about every time I say, do you like this? And he says, no, I get really upset. And he's like, babe, and he very respectfully said, you're teaching me to not tell you what I think. And I was like, oh my God, you're right.
Oh.
You're right. And I'm so sorry that I need to work on that. Let me work on that. But thank you for telling me that.
That's good.
Because we're not perfect. We all make mistakes.
No.
But it is what it is. And so everything is a gift. This is a huge gift. My mind is blown that I'm an action figure, like all of that, right?
Will you sign me one and send me one?
They're sold out.
Well, when they get them back, I'll pay for it. If I send it to you, will you sign it and send it back?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And also get the Mandalorian, the main Mandalorian's autograph, please. I know you said it was the hardest secret. I saw some interviews. We don't have to get that. It was a big secret you had to keep for a long time. I know your dad's a big Star Wars fan. He wanted to blurt it out. And that's a beautiful thing when you guys share Star Wars together and you're he's living vicariously through you. I really love that. I love that. I wish, it would have been nice if my dad was a big Superman fan and loved the comics. And then all of a sudden I became Lex Luthor and he was like, oh my gosh, that wasn't the case. But let me ask you real quick about Bo-Katan. Now in the Clone Wars, your sister was the queen of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And she, in the Clone Wars, which are amazing and everybody should watch, but big shout out to Ethan and Kent and the Star Wars crew and Joe Spina. Love you guys. Thank you, Ethan, for before you going to work on Jeopardy, you talked to me a little bit about this and articulated it in a way that I can understand. But she was sort of had a relationship with Obi-Wan Kenobi, sort of backstory. So now you're thrusted in this sort of thing, and she was murdered, right? She was killed. So by who?
Maul.
Right, Darth Maul.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, and so what's the story in a nutshell of the saber? The saber. Where does that come from? The Mandalorian. Are you not allowed to talk about that?
No, I can talk about it. I'm always so scared I'm going to screw up. So I have to think.
All right, think for a second.
These are questions that sometimes I'll be like, Robin.
Right. Well, get Robin. Get Robin in the room.
Robin,
come here.
I know this, but I don't want to screw it up.
Yeah. Need a reminder?
Yeah, baby.
Well, no, let me see Robin.
Oh my God.
Hey, well, you don't trust Katie? You got to wear a mask?
No, it's all the other guys in here. And this is just covering my dirty beard.
Look how cute you are. Holy shit, he's adorable.
I haven't told Kate this. I don't think Kate knows this, but I'm a huge fan of yours. So
what?
Smallville, man. You're the best character on that show.
Well, you just made my day. You did. And you know what? If she sends me a Mandalorian character of Bo-Katan, I'll send you a Lex Luthor doll.
Yeah, I love it. I love that.
We'll do some trading. Hey, let me ask you. She doesn't know. She doesn't want to get in trouble. And by the way, if you say something, go ahead.
She does know. I
do. I second guess myself. So the Darksaber was created by the Jedi.
By the first Mandalorian.
By the first Mandalorian Jedi.
Yes.
And it is basically the ruler of Mandalore has the Darksaber. That is sort of it's like the crown. It's their staff. And
you don't know where it is now. That's what you're looking for.
She loses it all the time. every time we are with Bo-Katan, she's trying to find the Darksaber.
Right.
Yeah. So because there's only ever been one Mandalorian Jedi.
That's as far as I know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, Robin, real quick before you go, what was your favorite episode?
Smallville? It's been so long. I had the whole, back in time, I had the whole box DVD set. My brother and I both had the whole DVD set, watched every episode back when I was, I don't know, when was that? I was 15 probably?
Yeah.
I love you. I love you.
I would have been about 25. That's about right when it was on.
Yeah. You know what's funny is some people, I'm sure, listening that are fans of yours and not fans of mine are, oh, so self-indulgent. He's talking about himself. I'm like, shut up. This is a moment. Robin made me happy.
As you should, man. When your character died, the show just wasn't the same.
Robin, Lex Luthor never dies. He never will die.
Yeah.
And who knows?
I heard you guys talking about the new Lex Luthors, and no one's done it quite the same, man. Yeah, for me, you're like the Lex Luthor. It's like James Bond's. You're my Lex Luthor.
I love you.
I try not to nerd out. I already nerd out enough with her on Star Wars. I don't need to give her any more reasons.
Well, I love you, buddy. You're a mensch, and I wish you guys the best. And it's going to be amazing.
I joked with Dave Filoni. Thank you, honey. Yeah. I joked with Dave Filoni the other day that between Robin and him, my nerd cred is getting better because my knowledge of Star Wars between the two of them just constantly is, I was a fan of this world. But I definitely needed to sit down and understand it completely.
Sure.
It's a huge, vast world. And I wanted to respect it and because the fans are so loyal and the story is so beautiful. So things I didn't know, he helped fill in the blanks.
I'm weird like that. Like I'll do some work, but I also like to get to set. And if you inadvertently, like if you don't know what's going on, you almost create an ambiguity to your character that you're like, wow, he really feels like he doesn't know. Like there's sort of like this, it's almost like you're doing a different character. If you know too much, you're thinking too much, because sometimes on set, they would say things like, well, that's the Fortress of Solitude. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, it sounds cool. What's that?
Oh my God, that's amazing. It is?
Oh wow, Fortress of Solitude. Is something you guys came up for this episode? No, asshole. All right, so the Zod, huh? Zod. Who's this guy? Where's he from? He's like, well, you're playing him. It's an alter. It's just like, so it's just like.
I used to do the same thing. I used to be like, if my character wouldn't know it, I don't want to know it.
Exactly.
I think it was like a part of me that didn't want to work hard enough.
Yeah, of course it is. It's fun.
I don't want to read the whole script.
Yeah, and if it works, keep working.
No, now it's crazy. Now and Dave said to me the other day, he said, your knowledge helps me write your character because I know you're going to come to set and you're going to know what to do. And I was like, on set, like talking to like John and Dave, and I was like, no, she wouldn't do this because she knows this person and she knows that person and da 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 da. And they were like, oh my God.
Wow. So, do you have Jedi sheets?
I had Star Wars sheets when I was a kid. My brother and I had bunk beds with Star Wars sheets, and I wish I still had those sheets because I saw a girl at a convention years ago that had a dress made out of the old sheets. And I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was so neat.
I have a 36-year-old Empire Strikes Back pillowcase.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I have our Bert and Ernie pillowcases still. Ooh. I have those.
Yeah, that'd be weird though if you're getting intimate and you like see Bert and Ernie. I can understand like Star Wars. That's kind of like, all right, I could have sex to C-3PO. I don't give a shit.
Just a big big bird. But I figure I'd put it in our child's bedroom someday.
Inside of You is brought to you from one of my favorites, Echelon. Other brand names are brought up to me sometimes, and I immediately just charge in and go, "No, what are you talking about? Have you tried Echelon?" I'm like, "Whoa, dude, calm down, brah." I'm like, "I'm serious. You got to try Echelon. It's cheaper than all those things, and they do more." If you ask me. I mean, I got the stationary bike with the monitor. I could ride hundreds of miles with other people. And I got the mirror. I could box and I could stretch. I got the rower. They've got so much great stuff, Echelon, and you're going to get a good bargain, especially if you use our code today. But I want to personally thank Echelon for helping change my life and giving me something to do since I don't leave the house. I don't like to go for a run. I like to take my stationary bike and pretend I'm biking for miles on end. And that's what I like to do, Ryan. Echelon offers the next generation of connected fitness bikes, fitness mirrors, rowing machines, and their Echelon Stride smart treadmill. No matter what your favorite fitness activity, Echelon gives you a fun and challenging workout from the comfort of your own home. The EX7S is Echelon's latest state-of-the-art innovation that takes cycling to the next level. The EX7S connected bike is built with performance, flexibility, and durability in mind. The EX7S is the bike for competitors at heart, and their world-class instructors will motivate you with thousands of daily live and on-demand studio-level classes, always available when you need them.
Unlike their competitors, Echelon is affordable for everyone, and one membership lets up to 5 family members all work out at the same time.
Come on.
Right now, you can try any Echelon fitness equipment at home for 30 days.
I would suggest this.
Go to echelonfit.com/insideofyou.
That's echelonfit.com/insideofyou. Inside of You is brought to you by Helix Sleep. Helix. I just love that name. If you're like me, you don't sleep very well. Your mattress is probably crappy. And it's time you got a new one. I've had enough damn surgeries in my life and enough back pain and neck pain to know that sleep is the most important thing in the world. And I have the crappiest, I'd call my sleep craptastic. That's what I'd say. But I needed a mattress that just was perfect for me. And that's how I found Helix. It's so easy with Helix because they want you to be comfortable. They want you to have a better night's sleep. And obviously, we're not being able to sleep because of the pandemic, the politics, our love life. I sleep alone with my dogs, Ryan. But sleeping on a terrible mattress or one that's not right for you can ruin your life. And all of a sudden, you start to get problems. When I have a bad mattress, my back starts to hurt. My neck starts to hurt. And then I think, I have these problems. But I'm like, well, the problem is your effing mattress. Everybody's unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have soft, medium, firm. Mattresses great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. Yes, Helix. And even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers. Helix has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. So why would you buy a mattress made from someone else? With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you know will be perfect for the way you sleep. I took the Helix quiz and I found out that I'm really a medium mattress sleeper.
Okay.
So that makes sense. You don't want something too firm. You don't want something, it's like the porridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right there in the square of the middle. The square of the middle. That's what I said, and I'm going to stick with it. It's just a huge upgrade to what I had. I've had many mattresses. I go through mattresses like Don Juan goes through, that's just the thing. I'm always looking for the perfect mattress. And right now, Helix is that mattress for me. I feel incredibly comfortable on it and I have a good night's sleep. Delivery was fast and easy. Like I said, Helix just wants to make life easy for you. So take the 2-minute quiz, get a Helix mattress, and change your life. Change mine. And Helix was ranked #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired magazine.
They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free.
I have 98 nights left.
Wow, that's a lot of good sleeping.
Risk-free.
Wow.
Yeah. Will they pick it up for me?
They will even pick it up for you, even if you don't love it. But you will.
So far, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattresses, orders, and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/insideofyou. That's helixsleep.com/inside for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. helixsleep.com/inside. All right, this is called Shit Talking with Katee Sackhoff. These are rapid fire. If you feel like talking a little more about them, it's fine. These are from my patrons who are wonderful. They get to ask questions. Danny, fantastic guest. Was it hard to get into the headspace of your Oculus character? It was such a demanding role. I interviewed Mike Flanagan. I've interviewed Karen Gillan. I love them both. And that was you were fantastic in that. You were so effed up. Was it hard to get in that headspace?
No, I thoroughly enjoy bringing as much physicality to my characters as possible. It's one of the things that I really enjoy. So when Mike and I were trying to figure out how this woman would move when she was possessed, I wanted her to move like an animal and really as she's crawling and and try and tweak my body in weird ways and almost have it look like she's doing parkour off the walls and things. And he was like, if you could pull it off, go for it. And I was like, what an amazing director to be like, I don't know, have fun. Let's see if you can do it.
Nobody better.
Right.
I think that guy is a super talent, and boy, is he a humble man.
He's a genius. Yeah. I remember though, when we were I had to strangle my children. And at the time they were 12 years old. And when I got the offer for the movie, it was written as a 7 and 8-year-old. And I remember talking to Flanagan and being like, strangle an 8-year-old. I don't know if I can.
I don't know if That's amazing.
My mind was like, I don't know, because an 8-year-old, there is a very big difference between a 12-year-old child actor and an 8-year-old actor. And I was like, I don't know if I can strangle an 8-year-old actor. Like, they'll be traumatized for the rest of their life.
Yeah, get the girl who played Orphan, the girl in the Orphan who's supposed to be older but really playing younger. Yeah. Then I could strangle the shit out of her.
Yeah. Yeah, but instead, they hired this girl, Annalise Basso, who's actually in that new train show. What's the one with, oh my God, what's it called? The Frozen World train thing where it moves across. It's on, we just watched it.
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer, the movie? There's a show called Snowpiercer. Right.
Yeah,
it's actually great. I just watched it, and they shot in the same lot as Another Life. But Annalise Basso is in that show, and she was 13 at the time that she played my daughter, and we had a safe word, and the word was banana. So if I was strangling her too hard, she had to say banana. And this girl, I barely had my hands at her throat, and she had turned her face such a bright red that she's literally a tomato. And they called cut because they thought that she couldn't get out the safe word. And I was like, you guys, I'm not even doing this. She's turned her whole face bright red, and they thought I was killing this child.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say that she was just really sensitive and choking to the touch. Could you imagine? Like, she's like, but Ramsey.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Dave P., is there a dream role of yours in any existing franchise, TV, film, and in or out of sci-fi?
Oh my God. I get asked this question all the time.
I bet you'd do Alien, wouldn't you?
I mean, if they could, of course. I mean, I grew up idolizing Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, yeah.
Every role she's ever done, every character she's ever played, there was something about Ripley that was so strong and capable, but so vulnerable and fragile. And I sort of modeled the strong characters that I play, or just learned how to play strong characters by watching her. And that, so many times when women play a strong character, they play them very masculine, and they take away a lot of the feminine qualities that make women special. And I think that vulnerability is such a key part of the strength that these women possess, because the strength and the vulnerability are almost a yin and a yang. It's one exists because of the other. And that is what Sigourney Weaver did so well. And
beautifully said. That was really well said. I gotta tell you that really just, because, it's very hard. There's a very thin line. If you're going to play it masculine, you're going to lose some of your audience maybe because they're like, yeah, but I said I don't really care about her as much. So if you bring both the strength and the weakness kind of together, I think that would, not even female characters, I think in any character, except if you're playing like a serial killer or something for the most part. But even if you want to like somebody, you have to bring a little bit of vulnerability in. You have to bring something that makes the audience, so it's not just one-dimensional, right?
Yeah, because the vulnerability is the relatability. That's the thing that everybody goes, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all have that.
Steph A. Katee, I loved you ever since Battlestar Galactica. Is there anyone in particular you miss from the Battlestar Galactica days, or do you still keep in contact with everyone?
Oh my gosh. I would say that we really do. Everyone keeps in touch. Either, as a big group or personally, like with each other, like Trisha and I, are really good friends.
Edward James?
Eddie James, I see him all the time. We were just texting the other day. Like, I see Mary all the time. Well, not now, obviously with COVID, but I just saw Kate Vernon, love. But no, I don't know, Ron Moore. Probably Ron Moore. He's like the one person that I don't see enough. And I have been saying to him for years that we've got to find something else to do together, because I would love to work with. He's such a genius. And I've been watching Outlander the first couple seasons, and I was like, this this is like softcore porn.
Ooh,
Like,
can you put that on my TiVo?
You should watch
TiVo.
the first season, about the first 2 seasons. I was always like, oh my God. And then Robin would leave town. He's like, are you watching Outlander? And I was like, what? I can't help it.
Jennifer S. loved you in Longmire. Did you feel that the 60-minute drives were, no, she didn't say that. Did you
Contributed to your downfall on set?
when you got lashed at, did you feel it ended well, Longmire, or did you wish it would have gone for another season or 2?
You know, I find that this is the case with myself a lot of the times, where I have been blessed to be on 2 series now that have gone for 6 or 7 seasons or whatever. And I find that you always need a break. You know, as an actor, we want to bring as many of these characters to life as possible. And I think that one of the drawbacks of doing a series is that you become married to this one character for quite a long period of time if you're lucky enough. But one of the drawbacks is that you're ready to sort of put it to bed when it ends, you know, and I know on Battlestar Galactica and Longmire, I was done. I was ready to be done. But within a year, I was like, oh, I'd love to go back, you know, and I don't want to go back to Battlestar Galactica. I couldn't play Starbuck anymore. I don't have that youthful angst and that insecurity that she had that were required for that character.
You're an actor, Katee. You could get it back.
Oh my God, you never know. But Vic was the closest I've ever played to myself. And I learned so much on that show, and I was proud of myself, not only for the growth of my acting ability on the show, but the growth of me personally during that time. And those people were instrumental in helping me mold the person that I am now. And when we left Longmire, we actually thought we were going to do movies. So we just sort of went, all right, cool, we'll be back. And it just didn't work out. But we all see each other once a year. We go to Longmire Days in Wyoming. It's like a big, huge sci-fi convention, but for Longmire.
Really? Just for Longmire?
Oh my God, it is insane. It's
wow.
10,000 people descend on Buffalo, Wyoming. 10,000 people. It's insane.
Holy.
And we go and they put us up at this ranch and we don't get paid for it, but they put us up at the ranch and they pay for our trip out there and we hang out with the fans. We go to dances in the square. We sign autographs. We go horseback riding and skeet shooting and hiking. And it is so much fun. And Robert flies over from Australia with his whole family and everyone brings their whole families there.
Can I be part of your family? Can I?
You should come.
When the COVID's over, can you just bring me?
It's so much fun.
And they're like, well, who's this guy? You're like, well, I emailed him about a potential role. But
it's like, this is family. What are you talking about?
This is family.
Anyone you've known for 20 years, it's family. And I think we're almost there. So.
I feel like, you know, I have such ADD that I do a pilot for something. I'm like, that was great. Moving on. Let's go. Right. One season. Yeah, let's move on. Let's do. I'm just like, I feel like, okay, I've done this. It's very hard for me to continue and continue and continue. It's just, but now that they have those 8 to 10 episodes a year, it's more doable, manageable. You can do other things. I just doing the same thing for 8 to 10 months a year. Anything. Like I need a break from podcasts. You do 2 podcasts in a week. You don't do it for a week. You know, you do anything. I think people get tired of everything the monotony builds in, but
22 episodes is hard.
Oh, that was brutal.
I have said this and I still stand by this, that I would never do 22 episodes again.
Never would do it. I could do it.
I couldn't do it.
No.
I couldn't do it.
No, it'd kill us. Kill us, which I'm too old. Beth B. Love the appearances on Big Bang Theory. Do you find it more fun to play in comedy or drama setting?
I actually love doing comedy. I love it more. I don't get the opportunity. I think I've done it twice. And it's just not something that people think of me for. You know, I'm the person that they're like, we need someone to punch someone in the face. Let's call Katee. But it's not, it's just, it's one of the reasons why I started the YouTube channel with Robin, and I started that like 2 years ago now.
What's it called?
It's just my name. It's just Katie's. It's just, we're very creative.
Go on
here.
YouTube, look up Katee Sackhoff, check her shit out, please.
But we did it because I wanted to be lighthearted and fun and joke around and be my dorky, stupid self, which is crazy. And so we knew that I probably wouldn't get the opportunity. So we created the YouTube channel.
You know what I'll say? I'll say that as much as I love comedy and I find it easier, to me, it's more of a pain in the ass that I've done both.
Yeah.
As when I do something serious, they're done in 2 takes. We're moving on. In comedy, they want, oh, can you hit this line? Hit. All of a sudden, I'm like, I'm not funny anymore. You've done 10 takes on my close-up. Now you're doing 10 takes on her. It's like we get trying to find something. Either write better shit and let me. I mean, I can't read. It just takes way. I thought it would be so quick. Let's just do a setup and let it play, and we'll do a wide and a little poppity pop and go have lunch. And I'm like, fuck, this is exhausting. This isn't fun. Right? Comedy's fun. Drama's easier for me. I think
drama's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. And when you said that, I literally just remembered, and I don't know how, and we talked about this the last time I was on your podcast, that the first time I ever booked was your show. And I totally forgot that until this moment. I forgot
What year was that?
1998.
On Zoe, Duncan, Jack, and Jane.
Yeah.
We had to make out.
With someone, we had to make out.
Yeah, we talked about that. You'll have to listen to the first podcast. But what's great about this, you could see Katee. If you're listening, make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel, not only to Katee, but to my podcast. And you could watch this video. And Ryan's here, and he edits them. And he's fantastic. But that's right. We did with Selma Blair, who I just interviewed, and David Moscow, and Azura Sky. And it was a fun little show. It didn't last long, but we had fun. It was definitely fun. And I was an idiot and I was young and who knows. Last question.
I was an idiot too.
Oh,
I think I dated David Moscow for like a day.
Real after the show? How did he get your number? Where did this come from?
I think I did. What
happened to me? Robin. Okay, Rozzy. Which set did you have fun on the most? Battlestar, 24, or Mandalorian? I know what she's going to say.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
definitely Mandalorian.
Yes, come on.
Definitely. And if we're just talking about, like, take the subject matter out of it, take the show out of it completely, and just what show I had the most fun on, it would still be The Mandalorian. I had so much fun working with Mercedes, who's Sasha Banks, the wrestler, and she plays Koska, and we had such a great time together, getting to know each other. Talk about hard workers. Like, that girl would go fight Friday nights for WWE, take off her blue hair would be woven in. She'd take that off, get on a plane, fly overnight, get her Koska hair sewn in. When she got to the hotel, she would come to work. She would work for like 3 days, and then she would get on a plane and fly back for another fight that weekend. I mean, it was crazy. Hardest worker in the business. She works her butt off.
Well, this has been an absolute treat. Did you have fun?
I did, of course. I felt so bad. You know, when we did our talk about learning lessons, right? When we did our podcast last time, I remember texting you and being like, I am so worried after I listened to it. We had such a great talk, but my language was so bad. And I swore left, right, center the entire time.
I don't remember that.
Back, I realized, I was like, I need to stop this. This is really insane. I do this I swear so much. And it made me sort of pull back on my cussing because it got out of control there for a second.
So hang on. So that incident on Longmire made you a better person. And then you swearing on my podcast made you a better non-swearer.
So, like, you know, it's all about growth here.
I love it. Well, listen, what's your handle on Instagram so people can follow you?
At the real Katee Sackhoff.
Katee Sackhoff.
No, E-E.
Shit. Katee Sackhoff.
HOFF.
Katee
K-H-O-F.
I'm not a great speller.
It's okay. It's got, my name is spelled weird and I've got a silent H in it. It's like, it's okay.
Well,
I mean,
it'll be fine. Well, listen, I love you. Thank you for allowing me to be inside of you again. Thank you for not cursing, although I don't care. But I'm glad I could help, and keep kicking ass.
thank you. It was so good to see you. Stay safe and sane and all of it.
Well, I'll stay safe.
I know. Sanity, it's already gone. I'm drunk from, I mean, as soon as it hits 4:45, I'm like, close enough.
Yeah. Hey, and email me your address and I'll send him something.
Oh,
He
yeah,
can't
he
hear
would
me.
love that.
Yeah, do it. Seriously.
I had no idea, Rosie. I had no idea.
Wow.
I love that.
Well,
I love that he has the confidence as well
I love
to
it.
be like, obsessed.
I would do that too. If I saw somebody that I didn't care if anybody knew him or whatever, I'm like that. I would go, oh my God, you were the pilot in Dawn of the Dead and you died and your zombie was so cool. I know. Yeah. Anyway, I love it. All right. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. You're the best.
Yeah, great. Yeah, he's amazing.
All right.
It's over you. So thank you.
Yeah, you got it. It was awesome.
Bye.
Bye. See you. Wouldn't want to be you. You know, now that I saw the show, I wish that I would have interviewed her after I'd seen it because I cried in the finale. I was like, oh my God. It's like so amazing. And she's so good. And yeah. So again, everybody who's listening who loved Katee Sackhoff on the podcast, if you came for Katee, please subscribe and give us a chance and listen to the podcast and write a review. Thank you to Westwood One. Thank you to Ryan, my engineer and editor. Couldn't do it without him or Bryce or my dog in the background barking. I couldn't do it without Irv. Irv's getting he's getting old, as we know, my dog, and you know, it's getting sad. I think I'm getting you know, they say when you're taking care of a sick one, that you go through depression, you go through a lot of stress. And I feel that. I feel like, you know, I'll give him anything in the world, but like, you know, there comes a time where I hate that when that day comes, but where I'll have to say, hey man, you've had enough, buddy. And I think he'll give me that look like, dude, I'm fucked. I'm done. I've had a good life. Let me go. Let me go to dog heaven. And if anybody's going to heaven, it's dogs. If you ask me, animals.
For sure.
Animals are, you know, they're the front of the bus with heaven. God's like, what are you? I'm a human. Sorry.
No.
Fido's in front of you. Mother freaker. Thank you again, everybody. Thanks to my dear patrons who you don't realize, but you make this show possible more than you can imagine. I sent a bunch of merch. If it didn't get to you or if it's really taped badly, I'm sorry. Write to hello@insideofyou.podcast and I'll do what I can. I hope you like the boxes. I'm giving you stuff. New merch is coming out on the Inside of You online store. We're doing a whiteout, so I'm getting white tumblers, white mugs, and white shirts.
Okay.
I just thought it'd be cool. So that will be happening soon once they arrive. And but thank you, patrons. In fact, why don't I read all my lovely patrons right now? And I know Ryan can do it, but today we'll not do it. But
I need a break.
He needs a break. Nancy D. Haven't gotten the pillows yet. That's not my fault or your fault. I don't know what happened. Leah S. Hi, Stubbs. Trisha F. Sarah V. Little Lisa U. Kiko. Jill E. Brian H. Lauren G. Nico P. Robin S. Jerry W. Emily F. Robert B. Jason W. Stephen J. Kristen K. Amelia O. Allison L. Jess J. Lucas M. Raj C. Joshua D. Emily S. CJ P. Samantha M. Jennifer N. Jackie P. I miss saying Hamza. Stacy L, Carly H, Jennifer S, Janelle B, Carrie B, Tabitha 272, not to be confused with
Tabitha 273,
Ashley K, Kimberly E, Crystal H, Mike E, Marissa N, Eldon Supremo.
That's fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eldon Supremo. Jackass. Ramira, Beth B, Santiago M, Sarah F, Chad W, Leanne P, Roshan. Or it's Roshan. Roshan. We talked. We had a Zoom. It was beautiful. Cameo Zoom. Ray A, Maya P, Maddie S, Tiffany I, Kendrick F, Ashley E, Shannon D, Matt W, Belinda N, Kevin V, James R, Chris H, Anusha W, Osborne H, Amy C, Dave H, Samantha S, Spider-Man Chase, Sheila G, Ray H, Alyssa C, Tabitha T. We got Misha H. We got a lot of newbies here.
Sweet.
Deb A, Tom N, Natalie 622, not to be confused with
Natalie 623,
Suzanne B, Henry S, Katie F, Liliana A. Hi, Liliana. We just did a Zoom with you too and your kiddos. Michelle King, what's up? Marcuz, he's the coolest. Marcuz, he's cool. Hannah B, Michael S, Talia M, Luke H, John S, Andrew T, Christy S, Claire M, Liz J, Laura L, Chad B, Rachel E, and Nathan E. What a lovely bunch of people. Thank you, patrons. I'm doing my Q&A that a lot of you sent questions in. Join Patreon if you haven't joined Patreon. It's a wonderful thing, and it's a family, and some people get merch boxes and letters written by me, and others get to ask questions on the podcast, shit talking questions to the guests, and lots of other stuff. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening as always and watching, and I love doing it. So I'm going to keep doing it as long as you guys want me to do it. So from Ryan and myself here in the canyons.
Yeah.
Why don't we close out with a little Summertime Neighbor?
Okay.
Here we go. Can you hear that? Oh yeah. So this is the song that I'm doing the video for. We'll just listen to a little bit. It's got a good beat to it, doesn't it? Good vibe. Yeah. Feels like summertime. Yeah, kind of like a little John Cougar. Anyway, thank you guys. Ryan, give it a wave. Thank you for allowing me to be inside of each and every one of you. Until next time, thank you.